when I say that I can't wait. I can't wait to get going. I can't wait. A lot of exciting things are going to happen, and I can't wait to see everybody in the stands and get some noise back in Highmark Stadium. That is something I miss personally dearly. I'm Justin McCauley. I'll be your host tonight. I'm your in-game host as well. So hopefully I get to see and host you guys in stadium as well during the season as we get going. So first up on the docket is I get to introduce our new team president. You'll hear from our head coach, Bob Lilley, as well as the returning Golden Glove winner, Danny Vitiello, in his second season with the team, as well as Jordan Dover, who is just at this point a staple on the back line for the Riverhounds and on that outside fixture up and down the river. But we will get started with our brand new team president, Vic Gregovits. He is a hometown kid. He's a Yinzer at heart, born and raised in West Homestead, PA. He was a graduate of Bishop Boyle High School, old school high school forever. Yinzers who have been around long enough to remember that high school, as well as a graduate of Robert Morris, where he received his degree in sports management. He got his first job interning for the Pittsburgh Spirit, the famous Pittsburgh Spirit, in the 85-86 season. He was at multiple jobs across many different sports, fields, the Cavs, Indians, Pirates, Eagles. He was most recently with the Louisville Bats, the AAA affiliate for the Cincinnati Reds, but now he is back home on the South Shore, in the South Side, in the city that he grew up in. Hey, Vic, welcome to – this is kind of your first chat with everyone, with the fans and everything. Welcome to the Riverhounds.
Thanks, Justin, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I think the turnout tonight is outstanding, and as Justin mentioned, I'm a Pittsburgh native, so excited to be back. I've spent over 25 years on the business side of sports, and I've been amazed, to come back and see the growth of soccer in Pittsburgh. As Justin said, I was with the Pittsburgh Spirit a long, long time ago, and the Minnesota Strikers right after that. So familiar with soccer and the MISL back in those days, but it's exciting to be a part of it. Having watched over the last couple of years and the growth of the team, as well as Highmark Stadium here, it's been great, and a lot of really good things happening. So it's a good time, and as Justin mentioned, getting ready to get started and get back to some normalcy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys have any questions, we had some questions submitted earlier when you signed up. But if you have any questions, feel free to communicate with each other in chat. If you have any questions, shout out Vic or any of our people coming on. If you have any questions, put them in there. If you have some ticket sales questions, there's some ticket sales reps on the call as well. And who knows, maybe we'll get to your question to whether it's Vic or Bob or one of the players. But let's start up a conversation and have some fun over the next hour and a half. So, Vic, anything you want to start off? First season, I want to know what your first impression of just Highmark Stadium as a whole was, and just, when you first got down here and to see it, and what your first impression was.
Yeah, sure. I've been watching on TV from afar the different cities that I have lived in, and I must admit, as the times that I've come back to Pittsburgh is being on 376 here and looking over and say, God, what a beautiful stadium right there on the river, and what great things could be done with it. So even our offices, quite honestly, get to watch practice during the day. Just a phenomenal landscape, and with the city as the backdrop, and very intimate. And again, excited to get people to the first game on May 22nd, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, about 3 weeks away. I think like 25 days. We're at that point to the home opener, which feels unreal. And props to you for looking off the Fort Pitt Bridge when you're on the Fort Pitt Bridge. I can't do that yet. I'm not that skilled of a driver. I don't want to risk it.
Keep your head straight.
Yeah, that's safety advice. So let's jump into some questions. And the first question, was asked by multiple people. What if there are any changes to the stadium coming in the near future?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. I look at that short term and long term, Justin, and from the standpoint of, we've got the first thing here is really, for me, is to learn as much as possible about the team, the stadium and how it operates, and quite honestly, the city. I always think, hey, I left a few years ago, but the reality of it is, I mean, I left 17 years ago. So the city has changed quite a bit along the way. And we're going to have to learn how to, not learn, but we're going to have to operate under COVID for a little bit. Hopefully that will all open up as we get further into the season. I think you're starting to see the CDC, and you'll see states, making modifications, which will allow us to have more and more fans. But the other part of it too, and I think these kind of intersect together, short-term and long-term, because for me, it's also learning as much about our fan base as possible. And there's different segments to our fan base. And that'll be through data, that'll be through analytics, and that'll be through research. You may get an email from us that may just ask you 5 questions or something like that. And that will be just continuous information for us to gather. And it could be as simple as, what's the best way to communicate with you? The idea is for us to, as we continue to grow, is to become more efficient and more effective and deliver the experience that you're looking for on all fronts, whether it be parking information, ticket information, or the game day experience. So again, anxious to get excited, and you'll hear a lot about growing the fan experience for me, because with this stadium, with the team ready to go on a Saturday night, and the backdrop of the city, I'm not sure it gets any better.
No, I guess biasly believe that that's the best skyline in the city. I know PNC Park gets a lot of love and it's hard to beat, but I think of the pure city, no bridges, nothing. I think ours is across the Mon is one to its own for sure. So in our next question, that kind of leads into the next question by Paul Rosenblatt. What are you able to do for season ticket holders that will get us back into the stadium safely and in good numbers?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and we continue to work with local governments as well as state on all of the new protocols and rules and regulations, as well as the USL. Social distancing, wearing masks, those are pretty much the staples, and we'll continue to be adding sanitizers, adding distancing in concession areas, as well as ticketing and so forth and so on. So we continue to go down that road, and we will have everything sent out to everybody so that everybody is prepared for that first experience. But I think at this point of the juncture, 3 weeks out, we're feeling pretty comfortable with what we need to have done, and that we can do that. I just went through this in Louisville about a month ago, so preparing with all the protocols and things like that, it's something, but it's an education more than for the fan base as well.
So apologize if I've mispronounced anybody's names. I apologize. Austin Key, throughout, what measures will you take to build more Hounds presence in the area?
No, it's absolutely a great question. The first part of that I mentioned, and that will be the research and the data. We'll take that and we will build from that data and understand that I'm going to guess there's probably 3 or 4 fan segments that we'll be looking to continue to develop, but we'll be asking for fan feedback to continue to do that. We need to produce more content. We need to increase engagement. We need to increase the fan experience. And that all of that put together helps the team, and that home field advantage gets even better. I mean, during the interview process, I watched the playoff game from 2019. And if you couldn't get fired up about that and the feeling that was here, I wasn't, but I felt like I was in my living room. So again, just to continue to grow and embellish that. The other thing is that I wanted to mention that I probably should have hit on a little bit earlier, but I mean, we continue to look for adding areas to the stadium that we have missed, or we are missing, like hospitality, group hospitality, suites, premium seating, those types of areas that we can. And someone asked, I think in a question, I don't want to jump ahead, Justin, but I think in one of the questions I saw was, what do you see long term for the stadium? And hey, the reality of it is when we get rolling, we want it to force us to add capacity, right? That's what it's all about. We want to grow the base and have a great experience for the fans, enhance the experience, and again, increase the capacity.
I see Austin's on the call. Austin, thumbs up if I said your name's right. Did I say it right? All right, there we go. 1 for 1.
It's actually K, not
The
Key.
K? Oh,
I'll take it. Thanks, guys.
man. All right. Well, that could lead, you mentioned contact. That kind of leads into Charles Brokoff mentioned in the chat. Any news on a local TV deal for this season?
I'm sorry?
Any news on a local TV deal being signed?
Oh,
or
yes.
TV deal at all for this season?
I would say we're in the final stages of that. We met with a local broadcast station as early as, 2 days ago. So I think that'll be finalized within the next 7 days. Candidly, it has to be. So.
So, all right. So now for the tougher questions. That was the easy warm-up round. What are you most excited about being back in Pittsburgh, outside of just, being, with the Hounds?
Sure. No, absolutely. And, for me, it's full circle. I think it's something, it's not anything I ever dreamed about or had ambitions about, but it's pretty cool. And, to have been in the market and from the market is great. And one thing that I always, have admired, even though I've moved around the country, is from the standpoint, it's the people of Pittsburgh. It's the passion, it's the pride. The pride of a Yinzer, and I love to say Yinzer because no one outside of the city knows what I'm talking about. So I think that's great. But from that standpoint, it's a special place. I mean, it's a special place for me. It's a special place for a lot of people that are natives. But hey, I've been other places. It's special in general.
Awesome. Well, Vic, thank you for jumping on with us. And I feel we're excited to get this thing underway. And thanks for jumping on with us.
No, I appreciate that, Justin. I'd like to just thank the group too. I mean, appreciate all of your support. It has been a long time since we have been able to, let fans in and have a game. We're looking forward to that in a few weeks. But the reality of it is, folks, you're the backbone of the organization, and we certainly appreciate that. I think one thing that hopefully you'll see with me is I will be out and about, and feel free to pick up the phone. I will give people my cell number and email me ideas, suggestions. That's the way we grow. We grow together. So thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, Vic. And that kind of leads us into our next, presenter or speaker is, the guy everyone loves is head coach Bob Lilley. He's back around for, another season, his 4th season with the club. And without really any further ado, I don't think he needs any kind of introduction. We'll get his camera turned on real quick, and then we'll jump into it. I'm sure you guys have a bunch of questions for Coach, and I'm sure you guys didn't get to see. You have yet to see. You got to see it on television. The new and improved Coach Lilley, slimmed down, ready to go. I don't know. You guys should see him in practice. Shaking moves, and he can play. He can still play. I'll just get Coach on the chat. Oh, I think we got.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Happy to be out here thinking about the season and sharing the experience with all of you that we're getting close, real close.
I know, 10 days away from our first regular season game down in Tampa, and about 25 days until we kick it off at Highmark Stadium. So we'll just jump right into the questions, Coach. This one's from Elaine Flynn. What are you most looking forward to in the upcoming season?
Well, I think to play a full season. Last year was very challenging, with the hiatus after preseason, and it was start-stop, and to only get 16 games in. I mean, I was proud of the guys for looking after each other, with COVID, and we were able to, knock on wood, stay safe throughout. But this feels like we're back, certainly with having fans. We didn't have them last year. So it seems like we were perpetually stuck in no man's land in preseason, or, and the beauty of the game for us is at this level is to go out and compete, but to do it in front of your fans and have that energy in the building. And so I think that's something that's really important to us for this season.
Yeah, and coming out of a short-term season and starting a full 32 game season in 27 weeks, does the focus of training and the preparations due to like the long off season and the pushback start date, does that change at all?
We changed some things this year, knowing there'd still be some limitations. We were really focused in the off season. Although we started later, we had 18, 19 players signed going into camp as opposed to 12 or 13. We're further ahead with our personnel. We were more focused in terms of what trialists we were bringing in. So a lot of years, the first 3 weeks, it seems like the focus isn't on the team, the focus is on the trialists. And this year, when we got started at the end of March, we've been putting our game tactics and how we want to play and who our identity is. We've been working on those things since day one, with a higher percentage of our guys being under contract. And, it even shows in the preseason games we scheduled. We got Cincinnati, Louisville, and Indy on the road pretty early here. And we've done quite well in those games, where I think we've built more momentum going into this season than we've had my other 3 seasons here.
Jimmy Walsh wants to know, nice direct to the point kind of question. I like it. How is this team different from last year's team?
Well, one of the things we wanted to do is be a little bit more dynamic. We say that all the time as coaches, and one of the hardest things to do is to create chances and score goals. I think that's what everyone is aiming for. We've been able to be really consistent in our game management, how we defend. Goals come and go. Sometimes the offense is a challenge. We felt like the playoff game last year in Louisville, we had more of the ball. I thought we were better in a lot of phases of the game. They were more explosive when they got in dangerous areas. And, although we had a lot of possession in the attacking third, we felt like we just didn't have enough ideas. And, we added some experienced attacking pieces, Alex Dixon, Russell Cicerone, Josh Gatt, Albert Deke was back. So we feel the mobility up front, the movement, pace. We wanted to improve in that area, and it also meant improving some of our midfield options, to have multiple playmaker options in terms of our personnel.
We got a question. We got the question from the chat. They want to know if you got new glasses.
Yes, they're new. These are the second new pair I've worn in the last week. About a week ago in training, I had some really ancient glasses that I couldn't tell you. I mean, I've had those frames for probably 20 years, and they kind of snapped on me in training. So these are bifocals, and I just got these so I don't have to take my glasses off every time I'm looking at my computer screen. And first pair of bifocals, so I'm kind of adjusting. There's moments it's a little bit bizarre. I got another pair that I had to wear during the last week until the bifocals came in. So new season, I'm being aggressive. I'm getting ready, so I can be at my top level for the group.
So, Coach, you've been around for the league for a while, and Ryan Adams wants to know, what team do you like beating the most?
That's a good question. Right now, I'd have to say Louisville, because we've been knocked out of the playoffs the last 2 years by Louisville. So to me, they're a standard in our league. We have beaten them the last 3 years in Louisville and in the regular season. We do have a good record against them. I did beat them in Rochester when we played them in the playoffs, but I think 2019 we had the best team standing at the end of the season. Had a great first round playoff and lost a 2-1 home game in the second round to Louisville. That I'm always going to remember that. That was a disappointing result. It was a great crowd. The energy was great. We had a 1-0 lead, and that got away from us, and I think, there's obviously Indy, in our conference. Tampa Bay is a really strong team, but, the league now, there's a lot of quality teams, and, we need to be consistent, and obviously there will be plenty of chances for big games this year. But if you're, we were happy to play Louisville in the preseason because we don't play them in the regular season, but we will see them potentially at some point in the playoffs. So they're a rival now at this point in my mind, because we're trying to get to the top of the mountain, and you got to beat the best teams to do that.
I think you made a lot of people pretty happy with that one. I think they agree with you that Louisville is at the top of their list. That and Harrisburg, but we're not going to talk about them. So Matt Polanski has the next question. If you could coach any European team, which one would you choose?
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of Pep Guardiola at Man City, but having watched enough of the German league, especially with Christian Pulisic going to Dortmund, I've always enjoyed how they play, their willingness to give young players a chance, and they play a wide open style, and I think it'd be exciting to kind of be in charge of a club like that that's so progressive in their thinking. And listen, when you're talking the top clubs that are playing the Champions League, there's favorites, but I'd be just as happy coaching Porto if I was coaching the Champions League. So, right now I'm thinking if we win a lot of games here, the hope for me, Vic mentioned it earlier, is that we really establish ourselves as not only a regular season team, but a tournament team, grow the base here, grow the capacity. I'd like to think that somewhere down the road, if we continue to grow soccer in Pittsburgh, this is a major league city. When you look at the history of the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, and I hope that someday there's consideration for Pittsburgh being an MLS type city, because I think it's important for the city, and it's important for soccer in this region. And we're striving to achieve those types of targets in the long run, always trying to get to the top of our ability levels. And we talk about it as a group at times to always be at the top, to be accountable to those high standards. And, I couldn't be more pleased with the opportunity that Tuffy's given me here. I mean, he wants to win as bad as I do. And, we've really started to establish ourselves as a top team in the Eastern Conference. And we want to continue to do that. And we want to chase trophies as we move forward. I know in Montreal and Vancouver, I take a lot of pride in having been in those cities and help grow the culture and turn around the standards of the teams, because those are MLS teams now. And I believe if you do things right and you have a major league city, good things will happen for your franchise. And, you guys are in it at the ground floor with us, and we appreciate your support, being behind us, and even turning up on the call tonight. But we can't wait to get you back in the stands and create that energy around Pittsburgh Riverhounds soccer.
Next question is Liz Brokoff. She asked, how do you feel about the spacing of games with an odd schedule this year?
I'm okay with it. I mean, listen, we have, some midweek games, more so than typical here at Highmark, but it's during the summer months. I know people want to be outside, and hopefully as the season goes on, we'll be able to have more people in the stands. We do feel we're deeper. I mean, I think 2019 we had a really good squad, and that's why we won the Eastern Conference. I think last year we lost some very good players. Last year we weren't as deep. I think we could play with anyone, but I don't know that we were as deep. Had the benefit of playing, in my opinion, a little bit weaker division. That's not the case this year. I think our division is tougher than Louisville's and Indiana and Indy's because of Charleston, because of Charlotte, because of Tampa, because of Miami. I expect Red Bull to have a bounce back year. I actually think we're in a tough division this year. But for me, I mean, we've had challenges my 3 years here, and if the players are up for it, we have good quality in the team, and I think we have more talent overall, significantly more overall than we had last year on this roster.
Couple more questions. The next question comes from John Battersby. He wants to know, Coach, the Tartan Devils just started a old guy team, and he wants to know if you'd be want to get out there and kick it.
I've done it in other cities. I played some, indoors and in the older gentlemen's leagues in Montreal and Vancouver. I think I appreciate the offer, but I'll respectfully decline at this point. I mean, it's just safer for me to get my workouts with less contact. So, I can still hit a free kick and show a run or demonstrate something, but live contact for me is probably getting a little bit dangerous. So I'll respectfully decline at this time.
Adam wants to know, with so much variety of pitch size from across the league, Highmark being a smaller size pitch, how does that impact how you set up the team?
We've been good. We've been good at home and on the road. Certainly home is an advantage. And as Vic mentioned earlier, when we get a good crowd in here, it's a great atmosphere. The guys love being in that atmosphere, and we train on it every day. So, we can use that to our advantage. I've been pretty happy that we still have been able to go out on the road and play on grass surfaces and bigger surfaces. And sometimes we'll adjust some things tactically. But I think it's something that as a team, we build into our team to be flexible and adaptable. And it makes it hard for other teams to scout us. And generally we'll find an area where we can get an edge and try to exploit that when we're playing games. But for sure, we have to pay attention to that. And but I think we're used to it at this point, and we try to prepare the players as well as we can for whatever we're going to face.
And another question was, when are you going to give Jordan Dover Kenny status?
Mongols asked me something about Jordan Dover and Kenny. They're buddies. Jordan's been here from the beginning with Kenny, and I trust them both. They're both very talented players for this team, and good ambassadors for the club. And I had them in Rochester as well, and I think they're good pros, and they're leaders on and off the field, and their consistency and their professionalism to the group, second to none. So I'm happy we have them here, and I think, you know, we have a really good group right now, and I think it's come together pretty quickly. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do this weekend against Philly and next week before we head to Tampa, but this team's on the right track. I feel confident going into the season that we're gonna do our best to represent the city, you know, in a positive way. And I think there's a lot of upside with this group, but you know, that's why we play the games. We have to go out, continue to earn things. But I've been enjoying. I've really enjoyed this group already, and in training. And the other day, I wasn't thrilled with their training, but for the most part, you know, they've exceeded my expectations, and I know the abilities there. We just have to keep steering them and encouraging them to grow as a collective unit. But they're working hard, and we're getting, you know, we're hitting targets, and we're much further ahead than I thought we'd be at this point.
Awesome. That wraps up the part, Coach. Thank you so much for jumping on with us, and we can't wait to see you back trying to yell over all the screaming Steel Army and Hound supporting fans.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Okay, and so at this point in the junction of the call of the party, you know, I just want to fill you guys in on, since you guys have been at Highmark, it has some things have changed a little bit, and we just want to let you guys in on some information. First things first is, you know, we're going to a digital ticketing. We're going to a digital ticketing program. It's kind of where the industry's going, and it's new to, our staff and people in the league. But, you know, so, you know, we'll be doing mobile tickets for match day. So you're gonna need an email to your cell phone, and you're gonna email, and then you can get it also to your cell phone, as well as through Ticketmaster and stuff like that. But most importantly, you got to be on the lookout for information from Zooms in the next coming weeks leading up to the home opener from your ticket reps and the ticketing staff, as they're going to put together some Zooms and some informational material that will go into much more greater detail than I can in this brief, little party that we have here. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to them. They're always accessible 24/7. And also in regards to the ticketing for the home opener, if you are attending the home opener, your tickets will be emailed out on May 18th. So look for them on there. That's exciting. May 18th, mark that into your calendar. You should be getting they will be getting emailed out on the 18th. And for season ticket holders, just to let you guys know, you will not be sitting in your assigned seats due to current, COVID protocols and state guidelines. So make sure that you guys are reading your emails from your ticket reps and keeping an eye out for anything that says Riverhounds or anything associated with the Riverhounds. There's going to be a bunch of important information here in the next couple weeks that is going to be disseminated through those emails and calls and things on the website. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that information, because we're trying to stay safe and get everything ready for what we hope to be an exciting return for you guys, because I feel like I understate how excited the staff is and the players are to get everybody back into the stadium. It was a little bit quiet, and I joked at the end letting Bob off, but I'd really like to see if you guys could out yell Bob again. That would be fun. So last thing is, look, tomorrow, FIFA tournament, second annual season ticket holder FIFA tournament is going to kick off tomorrow. So look out for that. So tickets going out on the 18th, FIFA tournament starting tomorrow, bunch of information coming through emails. Kickoff, the first game of the season is the 22nd. So May's about to pop off. It's going to be a good time. So spiel's over. Now let's do the fun stuff. Let's bring on the players. So Jordan and Danny, if you guys turn your cameras on. There they are, right? Returning second year on the team, the reigning Golden Glove Winner, Danny Vitiello, and the guy who I think falls just short of Kennardo Forbes, but our favorite Canadian, and Jordan Dover. So what's up, guys? How are you?
Good, good. How's it going?
How's it going? Excited to be here. Happy to see everybody.
Right, Danny, it's got to be like last year had to be super strange for you, right? You go to stadiums, and as a keeper, you're used to getting yelled at all the time, and now you can have full-on conversations with the keeper, the opposing keeper. Are you missing getting yelled at? Like, is that something that goes through your head?
I mean, yeah, I think I miss it a lot. I mean, I think it kind of helps my game when I play throughout the match. Last year was a little weird. The first game, I think I yelled a little too loud at my back line, and I was kind of like, oh, they could probably hear that across the field. But yeah, hopefully we get a lot more guys back to the stadium, a lot more fans, and hopefully I'll have to scream a little bit louder this year to tell Jordan what to do.
Jordan, were you surprised with that answer from Coach? That you're there. It sounds like you're there.
You know what? When you asked that question, I was expecting to hear like a specific, like, in 2 weeks, Jordan's going to get the Kenny treatment. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to hear that generic answer. I wanted a timeline to know when I'm going to start getting that treatment, but I'll just keep working hard. Maybe one day.
All right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. And we can ask these guys. They'll be with us until we run out of questions and things to talk about. So I know they're excited to answer all your questions in all types. And we'll start right out there the gate. We're from Matt Polanski. Danny, what made you want to be a goalkeeper? It's kind of a strange position. You want to get shot at all the time instead of score the goals. Why'd you want to pick keeper?
Yeah, I mean, I get asked this question a lot because people say I'm crazy that I wanted to become a goalkeeper. But honestly, when I was younger, everyone wanted to, shoot on goal, and like no one wanted to really jump in net to try and block them. So I was like, you know what, I'll try and give it a go. And it ended up that I was pretty decent at it. And I tried it in a few games and figured out that I kind of loved doing it. And instead of scoring the goal, maybe protecting it and keeping them out. So, I mean, that's kind of where my head was at when I was younger. I think I made a pretty good decision up until now.
Cole Gibson mentioned in the chat, and this was one of the questions by Sam Fatula. Thoughts on the Super League? I know Jordan's an Arsenal fan, so I'll start with Jordan on this one, and then we can ask Danny his question. Are you excited that Mike and Tammy Williams also asked this? Are you excited that Arsenal won't be playing in the Super League, or were you for it? Where did you stand on that?
It would have been very entertaining to see them in the Super League, but it also would have been quite devastating to see them getting beat every week. We're already doing pretty bad in the Premier League, so I don't think stepping to a European competition without qualifying would have helped much for us. So I'm kind of relieved that the Super League is not going through as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, Jordan's one of many Arsenal fans on the team, so he speaks sure for all of them. But for Danny, you're a Bayern Munich fan, correct?
Yeah.
So Were you like, let's go, Germany's wants none of it? What were your thoughts?
I mean, when it first came out, I was like, oh, it would be pretty cool. But then once I started thinking about it and everything started coming from like all the media outlets and stuff like that, I kind of got the fact that it kind of would be unfair to the lower league teams, and there would be no really competition in order to get into that league. So I kind of agree on that, and I'm happy to see it kind of dying down now.
Ryan Adams wants to know, Jordan, what's your favorite memory been as a Hound?
Favorite memory as a Hound? My favorite memory is probably that Birmingham game when we clinched #1 in the Eastern Conference. It's also a weird memory because I honestly didn't know that you don't get anything for coming first in the Eastern Conference. So like, I'm all excited. I'm like, we got to win this game, guys. And then we win the game. I'm like, okay, like we're going to get a plate. We're going to get medals. We're going to get everything. And I realized that only Phoenix got something for getting the most points in the league. I said, did we play Phoenix this year or what's going on? Like, so it's kind of disappointing that we didn't get anything to show for it. But you always want to be the number one seed. You want to play at home in the playoffs. So I think that's quite an accomplishment to be the best team in the East over 32 games. So I think that game must be my favorite memory.
Yeah, the legend of Mark Forrest was cemented
Very true.
that night, which led to an awesome game a couple days later in the pouring down rain.
Mhm.
That I'll never forget. 7-0, and you and RJ hugging behind the net in front of the Steel Army. Epic for sure. Danny, who is your current favorite goalkeeper in the Premier League or in Europe altogether?
I was a big Jordan Pickford fan when he played for Sunderland. And now when he moved to Everton, I started following him a lot more. I mean, just to think we're kind of similar heights, so I always try and look at other goalkeepers and see how I can improve and stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of great talented goalkeepers in the Premier League. There's David De Gea, there's Alisson, even Mendy now. But I would say I'm probably the biggest fan of Jordan Pickford right now and what he's been doing for the England national team over the past couple seasons.
Okay. Austin K, I think I got that right that time. Who's the clown in the locker room?
Who's the clown in the locker room? We have a rookie this year, Ezra, who's just a ball of energy. I don't know if I'd call him a clown, but but he definitely brings a lot of energy to the locker room. I don't know if Danny has a different opinion.
No, I think that's fair to say. I mean, we take 5-hour bus rides, and I think 4.5 of them are filled with Ezra laughing or talking or something. So I mean, for the most part, I think it's Ezra, but the most part, I think a lot of guys can crack jokes and make people laugh. Jordan's one of them. I think it's a good energy in the locker room. A lot of smiles happen, and I think it's good.
The Bush fan wants to know, Danny, do you have any games circled on the calendar this season or any games that you really get up for?
I mean, for the most part, I mean, I didn't really get to play a lot of the teams in the East last year. So a lot of the teams like Indy, Tampa are circled right now. I think New York Red Bulls, obviously that's where I come from. I come from New York. So hopefully they get some fans in and I can get some family members over there to watch some games. But for the most part, I mean, I think our conference is pretty good and will be a dominant conference in the USL this year. So I think for the most part, we have to be up for every single game in order to compete and do well in our division or conference.
Okay. I know Polanski asked this. I think Josh asked this, maybe a few other people. Jordan, when you were, playing, what did it feel? First off, what was it like playing for your national team compared to, just playing for the Riverhounds?
It's something that I don't take lightly, something that I don't take for granted. I mean, it was such an exhilarating experience. It's to put on a jersey and then be representing an entire country, a country that's had such an influence in my life as well. There's just that sense of pride that I felt playing for that country, playing for Guyana. Not that I don't feel pride playing for Pittsburgh, of course, but it was definitely such a great experience, something that I share with my family, that I still speak about, something that I'm very proud about.
Did you think about slide tackling Pulisic when you played the US?
You know what? It's not even thinking about. I wanted to, but he is so fast. Like there's times where okay, I'll go in for a challenge, and by the time I'm ready to make my challenge, I turn and he's 3 yards ahead of me. So it's not even like thinking about it. Did I even have the opportunity to? So yes, I thought about it, just didn't get the chance.
Danny, Steve Matty wants to know, you saved a couple PKs last year, 2 massive ones. How many are you gonna get this year?
I mean, it depends how many the defenders want to give me this year. Of course, I don't want to be saving any, but as they come, I will do my best to keep them out of the net. Yeah, I mean, as long as I think the goal should always be all of them. But yeah, I'll give them a shot every time they come and do my best to keep them out of the net.
Okay, all right. This one's for both of you. What did you guys miss most about the Steel Army?
Just the noise. I mean, playing in empty stadiums kind of makes it feel like preseason. We've been doing it for a long time, so we've been playing soccer for a long time, so we're used to playing. But there's just that extra bit of energy when you're playing in front of the Steel Army, playing in front of your own crowd, playing in front of a city that wants to see you win. So I think that's the biggest thing, just the noise and the energy. I think that's what we miss the most.
Yeah, I think Jordan hit it on the head. I mean, just the energy. I mean, we see it on social media a lot after the games last year, and I just can't wait to see that all of that in the stadium, rooting for us and rooting us on and pulling us through the season to get the best position possible to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, Dana, you actually didn't get to experience the Steel Army in all of its greatness.
No, unfortunately not, and I'm hoping that we can this year, and hopefully by the end of the season we can almost fill up all those stands.
Well, I'm sure. I know knowing the Steel Army, I feel like they already have some chance, queued up for you that they'll be talking to you and have conversations ready for you when you get down to in front of the Paul Child section.
I hope so. I'll be listening.
But they're also going to want to know, new back line. Is there anyone in particular you like out there now that Tommy's not in front of you anymore? Is there anyone in anyone in that back line or any of the defenders, or just how's your communication with the new guys and everybody?
Yeah, I think for the most part, all of them are very capable to come in and do the job that we were able to do last year with Tommy and Skylar Thomas. They all are good players that have been in a lot of places and throughout the league. So, I mean, I'm excited to get into the season with them. And I think the communication has been really, really good. I think we feed off each other very well, and we learn and we talk a lot. And, as long as, we do our job and try and keep the ball out of the net throughout the season, I think we'll be okay.
Jordan, Rebecca Betters wants to know who's getting your first autograph of 2021.
Monica. I have to say Monica because she's always the first one to come and get the first autograph. She always lets me know that she'll be looking for me coming over to get something signed. She's joking with me saying that even if they're not allowed fans, she'll put it on my car or something to try and get me to sign it and get it back to them. So I think Monica can hold on to that slot for this year again.
All right, Rebecca, you heard it. If you want to be first, you got to beat Monica. Danny, Carrie Solomon wants to know, what's the most difficult play that you deal with during a game?
A difficult play?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think one play stands out during a 90-minute game. I just think in order to be a great goalkeeper or a good goalkeeper in general, you just got to stay mentally focused, whatever you have to do in order to stay engaged, whether that's communicating with the back line and doing your best to just stay in it for that one time, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes where you haven't done anything, you got to be ready in order to, put yourself in the best spot to either make the save or make the play to get the job done.
Okay. So if besides you, who would be your bet to have the best beard on the team? Or if they could grow one? Obviously besides you. Like, would it be Jordan? Is he going with the full beard?
I don't know.
Gat maybe is Gat or Russell maybe growing like, a handlebars? Like what's your guys' take?
I mean, for me, there's a couple guys with beards. I think I forget. I think it was Coach Visser who was bringing it up. There's a couple guys that actually do have beards. Like Dixon has a little bit of something. But for the most part, I don't think anyone's getting close to mine. And I hold that award right now. And until I shave it, I think it's gonna stay like that.
Any plans to shave it anytime soon?
No, I don't think so. This bad boy has been going for a year, so I haven't touched it, and I think I'm just gonna keep it rolling until I feel like I have to.
We did get confirmation in the chat that Coach did confirm you have the best beard on the team. So
I don't think there was a to that answer.
So what is your favorite Hounds kit? Is it the yellow? Is it the yellow and blacks? Is it the all whites? Is it the blacks? And then Danny, what's your favorite keeper kit?
That black kit is crazy. Oh my goodness, I love playing in the black kit. I think that one for sure is by far my favorite. Like, I feel like I get superpowers when I put on that black kit, so I think that one will have to be my favorite.
For me, I think it's the green for me. I like the green a lot. I don't know what it is. The red is a close second. Then the blue unfortunately comes in third. But I think the green, I think it looks good. I think I like it the best. And for the field players, I think black is also good. I actually bought my fiance the black one last year. So I think it looks good on the players and on the fans as well.
All right, Jordan, I'm putting you on the spot, right? I'm putting you on the spot. Do you know who designed the black kit?
I do know who designed
Hold on. Danny, do you know who designed the black kit?
Yes, I think I do.
All right, Jordan, let us know. Let everyone know who is the creative mastermind behind the black kits.
And the only reason I know this is because he told everybody he knows, I'm convinced. But Kenny is actually the one that designed that black kit, and he is very proud of it.
Yes, and I think he has a pretty good record with it. If he's not undefeated in it, it's pretty dang close. He might personally be undefeated because he missed some time last year. So it's some special magic there.
For sure.
And there you go, fans, right? You grab that black kit, the yellow and blacks, obviously classics with the stripes, but black kit designed by the artist himself, Kenardo Forbes. Jordan, Allison wants to know, do you know, or what do you think about the Guyana, Amazon Warriors in the Caribbean Premier Cricket League this summer?
You know what? I do not know anything about that. That's a good question, but I know Guyana always produces great cricket teams. I even played a little bit of cricket growing up. My dad used to teach me how to bowl. I was not very good, but I know that's something that's huge for the culture. Sorry, I don't know more about that. I'm sure they'll do great though.
All right, let's say we're playing pickup basketball, and you guys each get to pick two teammates. Who are you picking? I'm gonna give, due to experience, Danny, I'm gonna give Jordan the first pick.
The first pick. You know what? I haven't. We have a lot of new guys this year. I know Kenny is absolutely terrible at basketball. I know Anthony Velarde is awful at basketball too, and it's sad to see because like there's such good soccer players. Like, how do you have no athletic ability when it comes to playing basketball? So I know those two for sure aren't on the list. I saw Alex Dixon fooling around with the basketball a little bit. Do I get both my picks right now, or does Danny get one?
It's snake draft. Danny gets the other two. You get the first one.
Okay.
Let us know in the chat what they're thinking. Let us know in the chat who would be on your team as well.
I don't know who else. We just signed. Oh, I can't even say Jelani because he's from the Caribbean. I know they don't play basketball over there. I'll go with Preston as my second pick. I saw him dribbling the ball today, and he's got some height on him.
Okay, Danny, who fills out your team? You get two picks.
I thought this would be an easy one, but I mean I don't know if they play basketball, but I know I play basketball, okay, and I'd be able to bring the points. I just need people to get me the ball, you know. So I think honestly I'm going with my other two goalkeepers. I think I'm going with Jake Leaker and Chris Morris. They're both like 6'5". They're huge.
Going at the height.
I think they're getting every rebound. Just pass me the ball, and I'll just do the rest. You know, if it's to 11, you know, I think we're winning all day.
Loyalty runs deep with the keepers, man. Loyalty runs deep. I think Jelani does play basketball. I think he does.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin, you see us take crosses almost every single day. You see how high they can jump, huh?
Oh yeah, Leaker doesn't even have to jump. He got that. He got the 12-foot arms, man.
I honestly think, you know, as long as we just keep the ball, you know, maybe they get one and they put one right back up. You never know.
All right, Jordan, you had to fill out your team. Who's your third pick? Who's your third player?
My third player. Oh, you took both the keepers. That's a lot of our height. I need. I think I need some more height. You said it. I think I'll have to go with Jelani and just hope that Caribbean blood doesn't run too deep inside of him, and see if he could play.
I feel like Dixon, or maybe, you know, Cicerone. Cicerone played basketball. His mom's a Hall of Fame basketball player up in the Michigan area. Oh, Mike wants to know. No one's taking Coach Lilley? No one's taking Coach?
Honestly, no. Maybe he could come coach, give us some tactics. I think we'd love that. I don't know if he's making the top 3 though. Maybe off the bench.
Olivia wants to know, do you guys or does anybody on the team have any out there odd pregame rituals that have to be done before every game?
I don't know if we have anything that's weird or out there. I think like everybody has their own little thing that they do, but I don't think anyone does anything too crazy. I know Kenny will sit in his locker before the games and he'll do like crosswords or Sudoku before the game, which I thought was pretty cool, pretty interesting. I don't know what it does for him. I don't know if it would have the same effect for me. Maybe I'll try it, get some of Kenny's superpowers, but yeah, I don't know if anyone does anything out there. I know keepers always do weird things, so maybe Danny has something.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't seen me what I do. I don't feel like putting myself on blast, but but yeah, I don't know. I thought of Kenny right away with the Sudoku, but yeah, other than that, I don't think really anybody.
Is there anything you saw in Nashville, Danny? Pickens, maybe?
No, I don't. I guess I just didn't really think about it too much or look around.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Keep the questions coming. We'll go for a couple more minutes. And Ken Ruffing wants to know, guys, smart bet, good bet, bad bet on clean sheets this year. Is that a bet? Is that a bet we should take?
What's the question? What's the bet?
Would you bet? Would betting on clean sheets for every game be a smart bet?
I mean, we just had a meeting like the other day. We're not allowed to be betting on our own games.
Gotta get us fined out here, like.
We're gonna try and you know.
You gotta set us up.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that.
It's probably someone from the USL trying to plant the question.
Tricking us.
Someone pay attention. It's a long bus ride. Paying attention. All right, if you guys could, so you guys both been in the city for a couple years. And I know you said on Mongols you had some hot takes, Dover, about Permani brothers. So you don't have to say that. But favorite food joint in the city that you guys have been able to get to?
There's this wing spot in Coriopolis called Big Shot Bob's that I've been going to. I love my wings. So that's kind of what I go to when I want to have kind of a cheat day. Big Shot Bob's. There's also Bahama Breeze by the Robinson Mall. I love that as well. So good. I think those are my 2 go-tos.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think I've been to a Federal Galley. In fact, I plays Federal Galley the most. So far, I think what they do is awesome with all those different restaurants. I've been to, I don't know if it's a Pittsburgh thing, but I've been to Condado's, the taco place, a lot.
It's good. The place is very good. I forgot about that.
And then when I want sushi, I have to do all you can eat sushi. And I think there's a place near you I go to all the time, Jordan. It's called Sushi Bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, you can eat sushi, and it's awesome. Those are my spots right now, and they're probably boring, but.
Okay, yeah. Well, you have plenty of Yinzers on the call, so if you guys have some good food spots for them, hit them up on Twitter, Instagram. They're super accessible, so let them know where to go. We had a bunch of, I know Preston's a big cook, a good cook. Have you guys tried his food yet?
Haven't got the chance to experience it yet, but now that you put it out there, I'm going to him tomorrow for sure to collect my plate.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't made my way over there either, but for sure I'll be trying to go there at least once a week.
cooking for the team. Adam wants to know who's the best on the team on the Ox.
Best on the team on the Ox. I don't know if he's the best. He's been like our only option so far, but Ezra's been on the Ox for the most part. I think Louis hops on the Ox a lot, and he plays his French music, which is always refreshing. To hear music from another country.
I think Preston jumps on there too.
Preston,
but for the most part, I think it's usually Ezra, and that'll usually wake you up in the morning with whatever he plays, whatever he plays. But yeah, it's very loud, and yeah.
I think Tommy might, once he gets a little bit more comfortable, give him a couple more days.
Yeah, maybe.
You got to give Tommy some look. I think he might have some original music to play.
Hopefully you can sing, maybe just sing, just grab a microphone or something.
We need a Kenny soundtrack. That's what I think everybody wants. A few more questions. If you score a goal, Dover, what's your goal song?
My goal song. We got asked this in an interview earlier this year as well. I don't know if I have a specific song that I have, but it would be like something gospel, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just to show my gratitude, you know what I'm saying? Kind of take away from the game for a second. Be like, wait, what is that music playing? That's what I listened to before the game. So I think it'd be some gospel music.
All right, Danny, PK save.
Why? I can't score.
But hey, it happened in the Scottish League. The Rangers were unfortunate on the wrong side of that to St. Johnstown. And it happened in an academy game as well. So
so my goal song would it would probably be something like Justin Bieber or something to get the crowd going,
Okay.
I feel like the crowd likes Justin Bieber. We'll see.
You going full Kevin Kerr, shirt off to the fans?
I don't know if they want to see that. If the fans want to see that, they might not want to come back. But maybe if I have my Under Armour on, maybe.
See, you don't know that, man, because you haven't been to a full game. The Steel Army is all about that.
Hey, if they want to see it, I'll give the crowd what they want.
Nobody wants to hear Bieber. I'm sure, Jordan, you like to hear Bieber, fellow.
I wouldn't mind some Justin Bieber, Justin Bieber would be just fine with me. I don't mind it.
All right, well, that will do it. Thank you guys, everyone, for showing up. Remember, first game, the 22nd. Look out for your emails for a bunch of important ticketing information, as well as make sure you always follow us on all of our social accounts and to stay with up-to-date information. A final preseason game this Saturday at noon against Union 2 Bethlehem Steel, same thing. And then we get going down in Tampa next Saturday, May 8th. So we're just 10 days away from kicking 2021 off. Any final words, Jordan and Danny?
No, I think Danny will share this excitement for me as well. Like, we're just so excited to see you guys again. It's nice to see faces, nice to see familiar faces. We miss having you guys out in the crowd. We're excited for the season. We're going to be working so hard to get results for the city. And hopefully we can see everybody at Highmark soon.
Yeah, we're super excited to see everybody and get everyone back to Highmark, and just be able to get some wins in front of you guys this year, and do our best to fight every game to get as many points as possible by the end of the season to put us in the best spot to compete for a championship. So thank you guys for having us tonight, but we'll see you guys soon.
Yep. Get your merch from the team store, whether it's online or coming down to Highmark Stadium. The Steel Army has their general meeting, I know, next week here. So stock up on the black and gold. Check your emails for ticketing information. And I can't wait to see everybody and do this in person and see all of you guys' smiling faces on May 22nd. Thank you guys for your support. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Jordan, Danny, thank you. Thank you to Vic and Bob as well. Can't wait to see you guys, and I will see you on the 22nd. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
Hey.